Yes, snaps. I like people tend to deal with it in different ways. Like Nyx, Clockwork. I know DJ's played a lot of. They show both supports, so you can't pick your Snapfire quote unquote counter in that position. But I think Medusa's pretty solid. She's just a hero that is like, okay, go ahead, kiss me. I don't care. She'll just tank through it. It's fine.
We saw Medusa in the first series of today. I know you guys were watching it, and it did wonderfully. It absolutely popped off. Is this a lineup that's going to enable Fnatic's Medusa to do similar?
I think so. I think overall, I think the key for Medusa is having like a lane where you're not going to get bullied too much. Like often you're seeing Medusa picked up against a lot of these, like in those games it was like against melee off. They had like a melee offlaner and melee 4. This time around OD is a hero that, not a melee hero, but I think the lane is very easy against OD before the Meteor Hammer comes out. So to me, it's a game where Medusa and Wraith King should both have a pretty good time and get their farm and not be pressured too much, depending what Fnatic's offlaner ends up being.
Yeah, I'm like reading these drafts, kind of like Medusa is odd to me in how Fnatic have dealt with OD in the past. They're definitely a team that really enjoyed having either heroes that can jump him in lane and make his laning really difficult, or heroes that can both have stuns and be aggressive with each other, and they can look for kills, but they can also protect each other. Medusa doesn't protect Jakiro. If he gets Meteor Hammer on OD and Astral's Jakiro, Medusa just can't do anything about it. Like, Jakiro will basically just die. So we've seen stuff like, I don't know, let's just say Bane Luna, right? You Astral one, and then the other just Lucent Beams or sleeps or something. It feels like Medusa is very passive in that sense in dealing with OD, but it also seems like kind of difficult for T1 to take a fight into her and her ult. They also do just have like Snowball save with Tusk for all of the big ults.
Is this a case that T1... Oh, I guess my question is a little bit redundant, right? I was going to say, are they very ultimate heavy in terms of their fighting is going to mainly be done with these cooldowns for their ultimates, but Conqueror and OD don't have a massive cooldown for their ultimates when we get into that later stage.
T1 can skirmish.
Pardon?
T1 can skirmish a lot, for sure. Like, between, like, X combos, Astral, Meteor Hammers, and, like, just Snapfire in general. She has, like, the cookies and the Scour Blast. Like, they have a lot of low cooldown spells that they can use. I like Mars as well. That kind of adds on to this skirmish build, team fighty type thing they have going on.
Who's the support here, though? Is it the Mars or Kunkka 4? Like, I'm curious what they're doing. Yeah, I don't actually know what they're doing.
It's not Wraith King.
I
don't think it's Kunkka either.
I think Snapfire is one of the supports.
Yes, I would also agree with that.
They're lacking support, so that's the only support out of these 5 I instantly see. And Yopaj may disagree, so...
Is that a worry, seeing that out of T1? You're like, not really sure? Or does that give them an even bigger advantage as Fnatic take up their last pick here, that they might not even know where all the heroes are going position-wise?
I think they're just doing something funky like a Whitemon Mars. That's kind of the idea I get. I think they see a lot of value in the Mars with the Arena and the Bulwark against Medusa. Like, to me, this is a hero that looks to target the Medusa in the mid to late game, but isn't good against Medusa in the laning stage, perhaps. So they're just going to lane Mars as like a 5 and just have Mars playing the safe lane, trying to like spear people in the tower and stuff. It's not a strong lane, but it's okay. Just kidding. Ignore all that. Cuckoo's playing Mars. Okay. Over to you, Sheepo. It's.
I actually like what you were saying. It was really good.
Yeah.
I think OD does more with farm in this game than Mars. Like, especially against Medusa. No, I get
5 OD. I have no idea what to expect from a 5 OD.
Oh my god, it's the best saving support in the game. Oh, you just get the shard and they can just walk in the Astral and then Amazing.
That's true. You just got to
Love it.
make sure you have that money by the time that Shard becomes available, and all of a sudden you're the best POS 5. And I don't want to see it in any other games except for official matches. So don't pick it up, please, anyone. But we are going to be jumping into game number 2. I look forward to seeing how this is going to play out for both teams, as I'm going to head off and leave both of you two to take it away.
All right, Sheepa, we've got some funky stuff. I mean, we were so confused about what T1 were doing in terms of support, who's playing offlane. We get the Cuckoo Mars support OD, that we didn't even talk about Fnatic's last pick. They last picked a Jab's Death Prophet. What do you make about the way Fnatic rounded out their draft?
Death Prophet, I really like against Kunkka in general. I mean, he's just like this big tanky boy, and DP's kind of like, okay, I don't care about your damage. But it is called Kunkka, so it is going mid, so they're not laning up against each other. Obviously, I think just DP in general against like strength melee carries is really nice. Just core to core, I think DP has a really good matchups this game. She also gives them a lot of like tower push alongside this Medusa. They have really nice ways to take towers this game, which I think is really important.
And it maybe perhaps taking away, you know, some of their lineup's weaknesses last game, which was their inability to, you know, make those plays. They don't. I mean, they have some catch. They don't have amazing catch, but at least Medusa, Death Prophet are heroes that are good at forcing action. Like they're going to run a tower and force the enemy to respond to it.
Yeah, I mean, they have so much tower push. Like, Medusa can siege towers, Jakiro Liquid Fire can siege towers, Jab's Exorcism can push towers. Rest in peace, Arma. Oh!
He's good. He
No.
got the level 1 blink. I was waiting. I was like, is he going to skill it? It looked like he might not, but I think he was expecting to be chain stunned, so he didn't want to skill it unless he could live.
That doesn't feel good, though.
Yeah. Bit rough.
Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. You get level 2 so quickly. It's whatever. Oh gosh. They're still fighting.
Yeah. This OD is like, Whitemon's like, all right, I'm playing an OD. That's a strong hero, right? Usually this is the core. Needs to be a little careful. The Ice Shard's block is there, and Whitemon, he's gone for the level 1 Arcane Orb. He may be the one giving up first blood here. A couple more right clicks. He's trying to deny himself in the Roshan pit, perhaps. No, he's going to juke his way out of there, but DJ perhaps predicting this one. Nice Jewel Breath from inside the pit, and Jabs gets him from inside as well with a nice last hit to finish it off.
I felt the torment in DJ's mind as a Tusk player. He's like, I really want a skilled tag team, but we can't get this kill unless I skill Ice Shots.
Well, Ice Shots for lane, not the worst, I guess.
It's pretty sad. They're so bad at level 1. The cooldown is so
True.
long, and the duration is so short now at level 1. It's only 4 seconds. It doesn't really do
Secure
anything.
range
Doesn't let
creep.
you
DJ's
trade.
like, I just gotta secure this range creep. I'm sorry, I gotta. Yeah, there you go.
Oh! Oh my god,
Yoink.
he's so good!
Every 4 position stream, just keep farming range creeps, and you tell your offlane, sorry, we gotta make sure they don't deny it.
Yeah, do you get Marauder in your lane? God, I had to arrow the range creep, bro. It would have been denied it.
I gave you solo XP. It's you're happy, right?
Oh, you think they give solo XP?
No, not yeah. About to say in pro games, sure. In pubs, yeah, about that. You're an
In pro
offlane player.
games?
You know
I
too
don't
well.
know. Oh yeah, okay, so Mars Snapfire, if there's a lane that's gonna be able to pressure this Medusa, it's probably them. I think they should be trying to be aggressive. It's just kind of sad a little bit because Jakiro is so anti like your right click, right? You're gonna use your spells. It's not gonna do that much. Maybe Raven even buys a raindrop, and suddenly it just feels really difficult to go on her. I think Jakiro is such a good defensive support and aggressive support in that sense.
Yeah, we'll see how his game goes. It's going to be a perhaps different build from Zhao. He's, initially was maybe thinking of prioritizing the Ice Path more with the OD pick, but no offlane OD, so instead going to have to look to fight fire with fire down in the bottom lane. In mid lane, we've got the Quap versus Kunkka matchup. I feel like I've seen this matchup so many times. It's one where there is kill threat from, particularly the Queen of Pain, but a lot of the time it just ends up with Kunkka's going back to farm the jungle and use X to heal up by TPing back to base.
Yeah, I think if Snapfire maxes her nukes, which it seems like she's going for, she's skilled Scatterblast and Cookie. then any X setup from Carl is gonna lead to a kill. Queen is not an especially tanky hero, so she should easily die, especially when Carl hits 6.
Okay.
I also think it's hard for Fnatic to TP respond to that type of gank. They'd have to, like, Tusk would have to be really on the ball to save with Snowball, but if they're, like, in the river, I think it's, like, too hard for him to get there fast enough to save.
No. One of the lanes we haven't talked too much about. Top lane, some early action with the tag team here. DJ's hit level 2, so they're going in and pressuring Gabby. Seen a few times where they just run at Gabby, and they really seem to be doing a good job bullying him, and part of that to me seems to be 5 position OD. What should we be expecting from this hero? Is this a good support?
I don't know. I'm curious as the skill build he's gonna go as well, because I think OD is so annoying when he has max Arcane Orb, right? Because it's like 0 cooldown when it's maxed. It does so much damage. It's a really good trading tool. Like a lot of ODs, even if they're going Meteor Hammer and the Astral build, they would get a point in Arcane Orb at level 1 just because it's like so much damage. It's so annoying, and I feel like in lane, maybe having 2 points in it just like lets him be this absolute bully, especially against a DP who's generally a bully in lane as an offlaner. Or if he's just gonna max Astral.
For now, they're doing what they can to run at Gabby once again. Jabs is getting a little bit low here, but has the Spirit Siphon, so he'll heal himself up through it all. Wraith King constantly getting harassed down low, but does have his helm coming out on the career, so that's going to make his lane a bit easier. As Fnatic rotates supports around the mid lane. Januel making sure they secure some of those water runes, and it looks like Hunker will get the top one if he wants it. But Armel is going to maybe beat him there with the blink.
That's kind of sad. Carl already used his TP back to base with X-Mox as well, so he has an empty bottle, no TP. He's super low on resources. He only has the 3-minute bounty to fall back on if he needs regen.
Yeah. And TPs are expensive these days. 100 gold.
They are, yeah.
Usually it's
Maybe
not an issue because you're like...
die.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't want to buy one necessarily, but he may just have to. He's got boots coming out, but he may just have to walk back to base here. And Squap starting to get an edge in this mid lane.
Just be like, White Mon, go die for me and TP mid, refill my bottle.
Yep. Deny yourself to Roshan or something.
Yeah. This is kind of sad right now. Carl is farming a camp in the jungle 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is going to give Armel a solid farm, and I imagine experienced lead as well. Kunkka does get the stack off, but it's still tough times for him. Armel just having a complete free mid lane while all of this goes on.
Yeah, no way this feels
dying.
good.
Whoa. Carl, okay, he fairy fires. The old fairy fire to not die to newts. Bottom, sorry, top lane. They found Whitemon. This should be a kill now with the Ice Shard block. He goes for the TP out. It's going to be close whether he makes it. And the tag team damage is too much with level 2 tag team.
I think the lanes are in really good positions for both carries, though. Like, Maz is free farming and all, and DP's also having a pretty good game, but, like, Gabby is under his tower, Raven's under his tower. Like, they're both very safe and very happy. Like, we talked about how Maz Snapfire could potentially pressure Medusa, but I think for the most part, she's just been right in front of her tower or under it, where she's completely safe.
Carl comes back mid, but instantly gets blinked on, and both supports are here. Does throw the Ghost Ship just to stop DJ going for any kind of an Ice Shard tag team, but that's his Ghost Ship being committed. Still not sitting on half health here, so he's, you know, he's healthy enough, but he is not having a fun time mid.
What can you do?
I think ask your supports for help, yeah. But why, then suddenly you have this level 3 OD coming, you're like, wait, why is an OD coming to my lane? This hero doesn't gank. I'm a little concerned. Like, what's this OD meant to do here? Under-leveled support OD doesn't feel the scariest.
Yeah, last game you had all these nice setups into a Mirana arrow, so even if you weren't the strongest hero yourself, you have this combo that enables everyone. Now you're saying with an OD and nothing to follow. Like, what are you Astraling into? A torrent?
Yeah.
You know, I think you could do a cookie into it. It just doesn't feel as strong.
And they get the tier 1 mid tower 7 minutes in with a siege creep. That's pretty uncommon these days that you see teams take a tier 1 mid that early. That really goes to show how much of an edge they had. Bottom lane, Raven in some trouble. Zephyr finds him farming, but the mana shield may be just enough to keep him alive. He needs another Scatter Blast, but he doesn't have the cooldown and can't chase him down. And instead, Zephyr may be in some trouble here. Januel shows up on the Jakira, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, so after I mentioned that the lane control is really good for both carries, at that moment, Raven's lane pushed up really hard in front of Cuckoo's tower, and then he maintained the creep wave there for like the past like minute and a half, 2 minutes. So they were able to just really punish Raven since they committed both of their supports to go mid for the tower. So good on T1 for taking the most of that. Mars is having a free game, really free game.
Which, considering how mid's going, is probably good news for T1 that some of these side lanes are going a little bit better. Kunga's still farming all right, getting levels, but having lost that mid T1 tower so early, that could be problematic. I mean, as far as Fnatic goes, I mean, you take this T1 mid tower, what are you looking to achieve off of that following getting a T1 mid? What's kind of next in terms of their game plan?
I think the standard flow chart is always to just take the safe lane tower and the mid lane tower. You know, whatever one comes first, but you go for the other one after.
Yep.
They're doing it now. Wow.
Yeah, they may do that and try to get a Gabby kill along the way. They kill him once, can they kill him a second time? DJ has a snowball. He's going to look to snowball them all in. Armel and the Quap not going in the snowball, but they've got the exorcism. There's the arena catching him, overcommitting perhaps, and Gabby's still alive on the Wraith King. Has the 1 charges as well. Armel's Quap needs a blink. It's up in 5 seconds time and goes for the TP out. The cookie is going to be just off the mark, but the banish from the Astral is there, and the spear follows it up. Blink potentially there, but the X is going to stop Armel from using it, so great punish from T1.
Really, really good. When you're behind and you're feeling like rough, you just have to commit bodies. That's basically it. They're pushing 5 bodies. You respond like that and really great. Like 3 kills. Your safe lane tower is good. You don't want this to go down if you're T1. You already lost mid.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gabby.
yeah.
Yeah, he's actually he's fine. He TP's out. They didn't have the damage to kill him before the TP goes, so he knew what he was doing. It was like, okay, he just died there and he goes back to farm and instantly gets gone on, but he had an escape plan.
Yeah. Nice Whitemon save there as well with the Astral. But it does mean that your carry is now no longer protecting your tower. They don't have a support that can kind of sit in the lane either. Whitemon doesn't protect his tower the same way a Treant Protector does, for example, or like a Grimstroke or a Wyvern. These heroes that can safely kind of poke the way from afar. Whitemon's just going to have to back off or he will die.
Yep. So it looks like they'll be giving this up to Fnatic, who have made a clear decision to play a bit more aggressive here in game number 2, but it's T1 who is smoking up, trying to make their move to come defend this top lane. Zephyr on the Snapfire's hit level 6, so he's got the Mortimer's Kisses and thinking they can maybe find a kill of some sort up top. Rotating in his Cuckoo as well. He's invis on the Mars with an armlet, so he's going to be a very tanky frontliner and dish out a lot of damage with that God's Rebuke if he can catch a hero or two in. He's going to walk into a sentry here, so they're going to see him coming, but it may be too late. Cuckoo already has the arena, but he gets stunned up before he can spear into it. Nice snowball as well. Cuckoo misses the spear, unfortunately, because of the nice snowball save. The Kisses do some good damage, but it's not enough, and Cuckoo going to go down. Can't Armlet toggle through all the damage over time, and Armel on the Quap gets a Sonic Wave off, needs to try and bottle his way through this one. He's on 10 health, he's still alive for now, has a blink after the X. He gets out of there. Is there a cleave? There is, just in time from Carl. Found the right angle for it. T1, though, lose this fight. Luckily, Carl makes a really nice play to get the Tidebringer cleave to get the Quap. Otherwise, it would have been an absolute disaster. It's still a big win for Fnatic here in the top lane, though. All off of DJ's Tusk save.
Yeah, that was really sad. It's super hard to fight with an Invis rune like that. They smoked in their jungle. Like T1 smoked their supports in their jungle to go top because they wanted to make this defense play. And I think that play is fine and good. But they didn't bring Cuckoo into it. So Cuckoo's relying on this Invis rune in a lane where, I mean, they're playing so many heroes on both sides. They both have sentries. I think it's not good to assume this Invis rune is going to work out. And yeah, Fnatic, really nice heads-up play to kind of stop him in his tracks, basically, and make his arena worthless. Kind of sucks he missed his spear as well.
Yeah, by the time he threw it, the slow had worn off, and the element of surprise was definitely no longer there. Unfortunately, yeah, the arena gets wasted, which also meant the Kisses got wasted because I think Zephyr was relying on that arena to blow him up, so not quite the execution they were hoping for. And Fnatic off of that, maybe going to try finally finish off this tier 1 top tower. They've had to work for it, but it does feel like they're finally about to get there. While all this has been going on too, Raven on the Medusa has been farming away. He's not quite on par with the Wraith King, but it does feel like, you know, he's in a pretty good place to do Medusa things come mid-game time.
Yeah. They might take top tower, but Gabby got bot as well, which is great. So that opens up the Radiant jungle for him to play in. He'll probably swing between the hard camp and the triangle and farm that sort of area. Meanwhile, it would make more sense for someone like Cuckoo to kind of play in the hard camp like closer to mid. Because then you you just farm that up. You kind of be a body. Like someone should be a body for Gabby to farm safely so he doesn't get ganked. And then you can like look towards hitting a timing that allows you to make a play onto the mid tower. That's probably going to be like, I'm not sure what Cuckoo would go. Okay, he's going BKB instead of Blink. So their timing's going to be a little delayed on like his next power spike. But yeah, at any point they could probably just decide to make a smoke play when they feel really strong and just take the kisses in the arena and go do something around mid.
Well, perhaps the initiation, the blink is going to come from, Gabby's Wraith King, because he's got it queued up before any kind of a Desolator, which he's not even got in mind for now. But before that happens, Fnatic supports smoking through. They're going to find Whitemon here. Snowball on through. Can they catch this OD? They get the Ice Shot block. There's an Ice Path, which is going to miss to follow it up. He turns with the Sandy's Eclipse, and DJ will be thrown to the wolves here.
Good on Whitemon. That was really good. Just breaking smoke and making sure that Gabby is just completely fine.
Yeah, it wasn't the scariest of ganks coming his way, just the two supports, and once T1 realized that, they're like, oh yeah, we'll turn this one around quite happily.
yeah, that's a good point. What were they hoping for? Because they must know that Gabby's the one kind of playing down here. So, what is a Jakiro and a Tusk gonna do to a Wraith King with 2,000 health?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he could probably just take them 1 versus 2 there.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you got through 1 life, so what?
We'll see what... Do you think Fnatic need to be aggressively making these moves, or are they okay to kind of sit back when they've got a Medusa farming? Like, it does seem like, compared to last game, they're trying to be a lot more aggressive.
I think they made the right plays, which was to take both of the safe lane tower and mid tower, because now they kind of can do whatever they want, whether that's to play defensively or offensively. Like, they have the enemy's jungle is more open to them. There's no mid tower, so they could make a play into the triangle if they wanted to. I think they're chilling with Raven farming, which is good, but at least you're not like constricted, right? At least like you never want to be in this position where all the enemy towers are up and your carries trying to farm their triangle, and like no one on your team can really get out on the map, because then you're taking your carries farm and space away from them, right? Instead of being able to farm an enemy camp or something, you're farming maybe one of your camps, and then that's just something that you're taking away from your Medusa.
Okay. Well, then on the T1 side, you've got this Wraith King who maybe doesn't match up amazing against Medusa late game, but Gabby is still very farm. Where's T1 looking to go with their game plan? And, you know, right now they're looking pretty good with a 2k gold lead. Are they just waiting for some of these items? What's next for T1?
It's really hard to say, because no one's building an item that kind of progresses the game in an explosive way, the way that like a Mars Blink would. Carl on Kunkka and Cuckoo on Mars are both going for BKBs. That's going to be their timing. They're going to want to take a fight with those for sure. But I think they can fight before them. If you still have that combo with the Kisses Arena.
Yeah, especially when maybe they can play reactionary. We saw that top of the tier 1. It's like, okay, if they dive us, we'll happily go on them. But also they can go aggressive. Unfortunately, they plant a ward on top of an enemy one, so that kind of reveals their position in the smoke. So an attempted maneuver, and they're going to actually continue to invade. They're going to the triangle here. Raven may get caught out if he's not careful. He's pinging, though, and maybe thinking he can play as bait. With DJ Singh behind him, there is that potential snowball save. And it seems like Fnatic are responding.
It's too hard at that point to go in. I think he was considering it. It was like, oh yeah, we get this wraparound on Raven as he comes into his triangle, sure, but Raven doesn't die quick enough. You're going to throw the kisses on him, but if anyone gets a response, if Tusk is near, suddenly it all goes astray, Raven gets all off, and you have that tone potential. They're kind of like really deep in the middle of nowhere. The Fnatic still have their tier 1 top tower up, so people can TP in and punish, right? And T1 don't have that sort of post tower to get to.
Well, the item that's come up for Fnatic is this BKB on Death Prophet, which is why they smoked up looking for a fight. They're kind of trying to bait their Medusa up top, but they have to show themselves to D-Ward, and now here comes T1. Smoked up themselves, seeing what they can find. They've got a nice ward here. They see these heroes. They go in. Jabs here. They get the spear, but the snowball save gets him the BKB off. Jabs would have been bursted if not for that. Great play from DJ to turn this fight around. They want the Wraith King, but he's got 2 lives here, so they'll get the first with ease. Can they get the second? There's no Ice Blast. It's still on cooldown for a couple of seconds, and with the dual breath missing, Gabby will get away from this. Jabs has 1 Spirit Siphon left, but he gets speared out of there, so Gabby actually gets out alive for now. They try and chase him down, but unfortunately for Fnatic, some of their spells were just a couple seconds away. If they had an Ice Path, they maybe could have killed the Wraith King a second time, but just a little bit on cooldown.
Yeah, this is sad when your carry's your initiator, but Fnatic, like, he doesn't have a BKB, right? So he just goes in, there's this nice save with the snowball, and then he just gets super controlled up. He can't kill anyone, it's just, I feel like their fights are just difficult until Cuckoo is able to get a blink on Mars, because then he can start on everyone, and then Wraith King can kind of find the target he needs to pick off.
It was very much like this moment of excitement. They're like, oh, we see this Death Prophet. She has BKB, but we can kill her because she's under vision. And yeah, the snowball save came in. But I guess, yeah, good news for T1 is they don't really lose anything. I mean, the Snapfire dying afterwards was kind of unrelated, but keeping the Wraith King alive, and they go back into their, you know, their farming patterns. They're back into the passive, you know, let's farm our part of the map while they farm out. Well, let's farm their side of the map while we farm, you know, while they farm ours. And both teams kind of farming their triangles and farming the enemy jungle for now.
I think it's much nicer for T1 if, say, Cuckoo is able to initiate, and then, because if he arenas and spears, say, like, Armel's.
Speaking of Cuckoo,
God,
he's under a ward. He walks into an Ice Path now as well. The Macropie, can they do this with the damage they've got? Armel misses the Sonic Wave because of a great Astral Imprisonment. Januel on the backlines on the Jakiro trying to get some more damage up, but Cuckoo's just tanking his way through this one, but can't armlet toggle his way out of that. Carl could be next, but he's going to BKB, so he should be fine here, but they're going to force him to use it. Cookie as well to get him back to safety, so they get the Mars kill in the end. Fnatic fighting under a ward and getting some decent results, but they're not going to be able to get this tier 2 tower because it's full health and it's being glyphed up. They're going to have to back off, it looks like.
Well, Gabby didn't take part in that fight at least, so he is just farming away bot, trying to get his BKB. I feel for him. Like, you want to go for your Deso, but you can't because it's impossible to fight into all this kite. Like, Jakiro kites you so hard. Tusk helps kite you so hard. You're getting daggered, you're getting siphoned, everything hurts, everything is slowing you. I think it's really hard for Wraith King to navigate these fights without BKB, so he has to forego damage items for that. And, yeah.
And foregoing damage items against Medusa, that to me says you're gonna really struggle to kill this Medusa.
Exactly. I just don't see where the damage source comes from that cuts through her, especially when you're trying to do it in the timing of an arena. Like,
yep.
I just don't see a world where she gets chain stunned for long enough where you're able to stop her from getting ult.
And you definitely can arena this Medusa. She's not going BKB as you would expect, but the issue is you can't arena these other heroes because Quap as well as Death Prophet, the other two cores, both do have BKB. So Cuckoo's options to initiate on are going to be a little bit limited when it comes to this arena.
Yeah, maybe they're able to catch them by surprise. Like, to finish my thought from earlier, it's a nice world where Cuckoo is able to, say, arena Quap and pin him, and then it forces everyone else to kind of react, and then Wraith King can see his target, right? And then initiate on who he wants to. Because right now, when no one else has initiation, Wraith King is forced to be the one that jumps in first, and that feels bad. So then he's just in the middle of it, and everyone's eyes are on him. And he's like, all your damage. And he doesn't even have that much damage.
Yeah, we'll see if the status quo changes anytime soon with these BKBs. Now, Gabby will have that, but it's kind of a similar story to last game where the Radiant team with that Roshan control are just going to walk their way in. Fnatic going to find this uncontested Roshan. They see Gabby's Wraith King with the illusion, so they even have a pretty good idea that this is perfectly safe right now. The smoke from T1 is coming, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit too late, and that means Aegis onto Armel's Queen of Pain, so T1 too late to the party.
They could still fight. They're like surrounding Armel right now, but they don't see him.
Yeah, he's gonna get gone on, but just BKBs has the Aegis as well. Zephyr's gonna TP. I was about to say Armel, you'd think would BKB TP out, but no, it's the Snapfire TPing out. Armel wants to fight. He may have used his BKB, but he's still got the 2 lives to play around. And it looks like Fnatic just gonna disengage, play it safe. They've lost DJ's Tusk, so I think the call is okay. We don't have that save, and this BKB Quap is on cooldown. Let's just chill.
Okay. I think Cuckoo has his BKB flying out to him now, so he finally feels pretty good. I think it's been kind of sad for him when he keeps trying to initiate and getting like stunned up as he does it. It's like, I just want a clean initiation because he has to walk in, which just feels bad. I like that Zephyr's been picking up the slack a bit in terms of initiation. Like, if they're going for a pick-off, he has Blink Shard now. Thank God. It's just a quick way.
Wraith King's so happy for this. Like, okay, someone else can go first. But I mean, it feels like in some ways Fnatic have been the ones more in control in terms of, controlling Roshan, making the plays, playing on the enemy side of the map, but say that Armel in the mid lane may get picked off here with the Aegis. He loses his first life. He's going to BKB for a second, but what I was going to say is T1 have themselves a 3k gold lead. They're actually, out farming. Even though the Medusa's top of the net worth, they've got more overall farm. Do you feel like either team has an edge right now, or is it similar to the last game where just how this next teamfight or two goes is going to be the deciding factor?
It reads to me that Fnatic spells are just stronger, and that's why T1 has just been hard farming. That they've been farming for so long for all these BKBs, but now they have BKBs.
Cuckoo top. He TPs to take a fight, but he doesn't use his BKB. Does get bailed out by the Astral. That's going to make him get out of this one for now. He's still got the arena, but Jabs is just running at him with the ultimate, the Exorcism, doing some good physical damage, but it's just not enough to burst through him. Instead, it's Kroll's Kunkka getting low, but none of these heroes are going down. Gabby, he's got to be careful. He's in the front lines all alone. The kisses coming from the trees. Raven still has his Stone Gaze, and he's going to commit it to look to bring down Gabby with the Skadi Slow. It's not going to be enough, and the trees is the OD for Whitemon. He gets stoned up, and Zephyr not far off. May just have to try blink his way back to safety, but he can't do that with the Shadow Strike on him. He gets a nice cookie kill on a DJ, though. And Zephyr may end up going down, but he does get a nice kill on his way out as Fnatic will secure the top tier 2 tower. Raven's Medusa is starting to look a little bit unstoppable, Sheepa. That's got to be a bit concerning for T1.
Yep. I was not expecting Mars to get saved there and not... Like, he didn't use Arena. I thought he was going to use Arena. I don't know if he was just like, oh yeah, they have BKBs. I would waste Arena if I used it here. Like, if he wanted to try and get out and then do, like, a re-initiation. But he doesn't have Blink, so it's kind of difficult. I'm not really sure what he was thinking. Maybe he wanted to Arena and Spear, but... like really quickly, but he accidentally speared first and thought, okay, at this point it's not worth using Arena. I'm not sure. But it seemed like a little bit messy there. Like they didn't really have a good idea. It felt like they committed on T1, but like Cuckoo wasn't committing. It was a whole maybe miscommunication, maybe just sloppy. It was awkward to say the least, watching that fight play out for T1.
It's one of those fights without, knowing what they were thinking. It's hard to say because it does look like Cuckoo just doesn't use his Arena, like even though he TP'd into Spear. So definitely some question marks, and it's hard. They don't have that blink on Mars. Not to say there's anything wrong with this build. Having the BKB rightfully of priority this game against all the magic damage and control of Fnatic, but until he gets that blink, it will be a little bit tricky for Cuckoo to get the right initiation off.
Yeah, I feel for them. I
perfect.
Want to say things like, oh yeah, Wraith King is a really nice carry, like to go blink this game because he gets to go in and be like the body that goes in first and tanks spells so his teammates can do the damage for him, but everyone else is going BKBs too. Mars is going BKB, Kunkka's going BKB. No one has these big damage items that allows them to have amazing fight impact. They can get some nice plays. I think their pick-off especially was amazing, like we saw mid onto Quap. That was great. But outside of that, yeah, you're still not taking down this Medusa. We might see it later. Kunkka's going for Assault Your Ass.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the fight, but even you see Gabby still not going for any kind of death, so has a Skadi queued up. So it looks like they're just trying to outlast this Medusa when it comes to these team fights. So we'll see where things.
You think he's
go
actually
from
gonna buy
here.
the Moonshard? He's got it queued up.
Okay, all right. Gabby getting creative with the Wraith King builds. I like it.
Hit fast, burn more mana from Medusa.
Nice, nice. Unfortunately, doesn't help your Mortal Strike.
That's true.
One area where attack speed doesn't help you, but yeah, you know, you still hit hard. Still a lot of damage output with a Moonshard. Bottom lane. Kunga's lurking around, but not really thinking he can kill Armel here. He's alone.
I would like to see T1 make a move at some point to try and take the mid tower, even if it's invading the enemy's jungle and like kind of just pressuring it slowly. I'm not sure the best way to take it, and I'm not sure whether they're worried that they're gonna react really hard on Fnatic and defend it. It just feels bad to have it up for so long, especially going into the next Roche, which it may start respawning in around 3 minutes from now. Like when the mid tower's up, it just makes Fnatic's game so much easier. Like you want mid to be pushing into your enemy to make them have to respond and show on it. It makes your like roshing so much easier and safer. You know, they can buy back TP to the mid tower like for the Roche fight. There's so many more options for a team that has a mid tower up when you're contesting Roshan. So if they're able to get it down, it will make the next Roche much easier for them for T1 to try and contest.
Oh, particularly bad if they don't have their outposts as well, which Fnatic's got control of. So no TP locations around the Roshan pit for T1. They've maybe caught Jabs in the mid lane. Cuckoo goes in, it's the Blink Dagger timing, but Jabs, he survived through it and gets the Exorcism off as well, some Spirit Siphons, but does die before he can heal himself back up. DJ tried to go in to save him as well, but it's going to be 2 dead on the Fnatic side. T1 have found a way to win a fight and also get themselves this T1 mid, and all it took was this Blink Dagger timing. Cuckoo finally got the Blink on the Mars, and it did wonders.
Thank God. Oh my God. I've been so sad all game watching Cuckoo play. It was like, I feel his pain, and look at that. Blink instantly paying off.
Unfortunately, even with those 2 heroes dead, Medusa is still a very strong, sturdy way to plop a hero in front of a tower to defend it. So 3 versus 5, Raven says, yeah, no problem, we can defend this tower. We can stop them taking over, you know, outside of the map and setting up for a potential Roshan a minute from now.
Yeah. I think DP wasting Exorcism is great for T1 if they want to try and take advantage of it. I think there's a chance they could put pressure bot tier 2, but they need to make sure that they're set up top in the next like minute or so. Because when Roche has the potential to start respawning, it's really imperative that you have map control of some kind in top lane. You want to like make sure wards are dewarded from the enemy. You want to set up your own on like cliffs or something. Make sure you're setting yourselves up to fight around your wards. Maybe you want to start preparing for a smoke so you can take a good fight when it's about to respawn and translate into the Roche. I mean, there's a lot to set up. It's very important. I think if Fnatic get this Aegis, that's going to be the Aegis they use to close out the game.
Okay. Well, we'll see if they can secure that or not. As you mentioned, T1 may just try and pressure this bottom lane. They're doing that with the Snapfire just split pushing, so forcing Fnatic to come back and keep defending.
That's nice, because that's what you want to do. And Zephyr's TPing now, because as soon as Quap shows, you're like, okay, we force a reaction, let's go make a move. Now they're taking the jungle back.
We'll see if this Quap stays much longer down this bottom lane. May want to just push one more wave and then rejoin up with the team, because Roshan, yeah, it can respawn anytime. We're going to see how long it is. It's 2 minutes 7 seconds, so bit of a long Roche respawn. Something the teams will not be aware of, but at the same time, I don't think either team is going to be boldly walking into Roshan like we saw Fnatic did last time, because this time around, Roche number 2, both teams ready to contest it.
Yep, so now we have those cliff wards. Very defensive on T1. They'll be playing around this ward a lot. Meanwhile, Fnatic don't currently have very good Roche ward set down. No one's got a ward outside the pit. They'll put one down on the cliff in the jungle. That's a pretty strong ward if they have like good blink initiation to take advantage of it. Otherwise, it's kind of rough because like Fnatic don't really have a blink stunner like Mars, right? So if they see someone on that ward, it's like, oh.
They're charging in. T1, they had the smoke, but nice reaction from Jabs. He gets the BKB off, but as soon as that wears off, Cuckoo's going to be looking for him with the arena, and they've got the Scatter Blast to stun him up. Nice snowball. Keeps him alive a little bit longer, but he's still going to be rolling himself in as Armel goes in the front lines, look for the Sonic Wave kills, but they've instantly lost Jabs. Death Prophet doesn't get a chance to exorcism here. Banish onto the Medusa just to stop her from dishing out damage as T1 buy back and TP Carl out with the BKB. Cuckoo is low in the trees, but he's going to blink TP out himself, so Januel goes fishing with an Ice Path, but doesn't find him. Nice job by T1 just to get out and take their spoils back to kind of reset.
I'm so surprised that fight went so well for them when Jabs got BKB off. I was like, surely this must suck. And the arena felt somewhat wasted too, but I don't think Medusa used Stone Gaze or anything, right? Yeah, so maybe it's just hard for her to get into the fight.
She just got like astraled and ignored. Like she started right-clicking people and then got astraled. They just kind of ran away from her.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's great. Okay, so nicely played then from T1 on all fronts. Because yeah, as I was saying, they had a ward on the cliff from Fnatic, but like if they show on it on T1, there's no real way for the Fnatic to take advantage of that. You're approaching them from a low ground, which I think is just puts you at a disadvantage in general. So I like T1's point of aggression is just way easier to execute than Fnatic's.
Yeah.
In this game.
And they have wards scattered around this Roshan pit. 2 cliff wards and a mid lane ward. So they are truly prioritizing this next fight around Roshan and basically being able to scout any of these heroes to jump them, as we've seen how crucial that can be. So we'll see both teams posturing now. Roshan has respawned. Definitely something that both teams will be aware of because it was that long respawn. So they're going to know it's up now, and we'll see if either team dares make a move to go for that Roshan. It does feel like it's going to take some kind of pick off first, and that's what Fnatic have in mind. They smoke up, they scan the high ground, they know nobody's there initially, but Carl himself on the mid lane. They're going to see this X, I believe. Are they going for it? They're going for the backlines. They want the OD first. That's the save, so they take out the OD. And now maybe they just walk into the Roshan pit. If OD doesn't buy back, they could just get themselves Roshan.
That's good, yeah. It was nice control of them to not go for the Kunkka because they saw the X and they were like, oh, we could go on him, but we won't.
No. Respecting the OD. Roche is getting low here. T1's got to go soon. They have the buyback as well as the outpost there. Jab's committing the exorcism on the front lines here, and with the Ice Path, it's blocking Gabby. He does get pushed out of the Ice Shard. Back to safety for now. He's getting very low in his first life as a nice Stone Gaze from the Medusa on the front line, trying to deal with Carl, who's running in on that Kunkka, trying to finish off DJ, who's using the Spider Legs to get back to the high ground. Great juking from the Tusk, and they just take out the Kunkka. He got baited in. The Spider Legs proving to be too much to deal with, and they get Roshan as the kisses come a little bit too late. Raining on in, looking for the DJ kill, but very close to getting him. DJ will survive his way through it.
We were watching 2 separate fights happening. You were watching what was happening on the left. I was watching Jab single-handedly zone 2 heroes. Like he killed Gabby's first life by himself, and then I believe Cuckoo Mars blinked on him to try and then deal with him, and then Jabs was like, "What, bro? I still have my BKB," and then he just runs Cuckoo out of the fight as well. And they're both super low health, cannot fight into this DP. She completely walls them out, and that enables them to kill Carl on the other side of the fight.
Very well executed from Fnatic, and they get rewarded with this shard as well as Aegis now with a Medusa that is sitting almost basically kind of 6-slotted at this point with the Aegis. Doesn't have much room to kind of progress. You can maybe swap out the treads at some point for something else, but Fnatic are well and truly online and will be probably pressing forward to take over the dire side of the map with this Aegis, and they're already smoked up. They don't have Medusa with them, though, so they're going to be a little bit careful here, but they get the high ground cliff ward. They're looking for that initiation, but Armel and the Quap unable to, well, not really the best initiating hero to begin with, unable to really do a whole lot.
I was pretty disappointed in how T1 took that fight. Sadly, it just felt... I mean, getting split up like that is horrible in the first place. Yeah, there's a point on Fnatic, but I'm not... I feel like that shouldn't have happened in the first place if you're going on different people. I also expected Whitemon to buy back instantly as soon as they knew that the Roche was being contested. him waiting his entire respawn timer is kind of briefing.
Yeah. Usually it's like, especially as a 5, like that's the hero, like if you're a carry, yeah, maybe you don't want to buy back, but 5 position who's the save, not buying back. Definitely a little bit greedy.
Yeah, because the biggest weakness I see in Fnatic's draft is that they don't have like a blink stun. Their initiation is very awkward. Meanwhile, T1 have a clear goal in mind. We blink in with Mars, we Arena, we Spear, or we blink in with Snap, we Scatterblast and stun them, right? They have so many ways to just jump and stun and go. And Fnatic don't have that at all. They kind of rely on T1 to put themselves out of position or to kind of try and get Raven into the middle of things to ult and be a problem.
And we saw it a bit in that last fight. You were kind of keeping eyes on jabs, and that was like their initiation, was this Death Prophet, like, I'm just going to run at them with Exorcism. It's not really an initiation, but it did something, as here we're going to see an initiation from the Mars. Blink Spear on the Medusa, but I don't think they have... Nuts on the hero you want to be going on. It's jabs perhaps on the Death Prophet, but he's going to BKB as well as multiple Spirit Siphons to keep him nice and healthy. He zoned them well away here, but with the BKB wearing off, Cuckoo's trying to get Spear made to an Arena with the Kisses to follow up. The damage raining down on the jabs. He can't survive his way through it. DJ couldn't find a good line to get a snowball save off, and as a result, they've lost the Death Prophet, but killed the Mars in the process, and Raven going to turn around with the break. Take out Gabby's first life. Do they look for a second kill? The Ice Blast is going to be there, waiting for him on the respawn. Kunkka is there with the buyback on the Mars. They want to take this fight. Raven's getting low here. He's got the Aegis still to play around, but he's out of mana, so he's just going to try fight his way through this one. Tarring it up, being controlled here. They don't have a good way to keep Raven alive, but Januel says this Ice Blast will have to do. Trying to get him back to safety. Raven wants to keep this Aegis for now. And it looks like Fnatic, with the buyback from Tusk, will be okay. They get out of this one. They don't get a Rax, but they don't really take too many casualties.
That was pretty decent defense. It feels sad for your offlaner to expend his buyback, but overall, I mean, that went kind of cleanly.
Yeah. Like, what, a Tusk buyback? That's the support who's just like, okay, I'm going to insta-buyback to make sure this goes okay. Whereas, yeah, for T1, buying back on a Cord never feels particularly good when you're defending high ground, especially when you don't get any kills out of it.
Yeah, it's a shame they couldn't take the Aegis. I think if they took the Aegis, they could consider that a win because they reset the game back into a neutral state. But now Raven's... it's going to expire in 30 seconds, so you're fine.
Yeah. I think that's where Fnatic was like, well, we're not getting Rax here, and Rax isn't going to be a game changer. Let's just back off and reset. We'll see. Take another look at the fight here. They speared in the Medusa, and then it was just jabs just walking all over him. When he's got that BKB Exorcism up, they just have to run away from him. But luckily, they could kind of bide their time, wait for the arena cooldown to come out with the BKB wearing off, and then the Kisses to finish off the Death Prophet. So nicely done to play around the BKB of the Death Prophet.
Yeah, super good. You kill the Death Prophet, that's the whole wall gone. This guy that splits up your fight. So that was nice. Now, they kind of have free choice of what they want to do on the map because there's no rush to fight over. They did manage to take tier 2 mid, so they are able to take outposts if they want bot. They're not like super desperate to take bot tier 2 or anything. It would be nice to kind of push that in and take it. They can definitely push in bot lane and force a reaction there. And then maybe they could make like a smoke play top. But it's all up on them and how strong they feel like they are.
Okay.
I think when we covered Team Spirit's games, they were like the best team at showing when they were behind, like when they felt they were strong enough to fight. They took so many fights that I was just like, no way. But they pull it
Like
off.
the other team just got Aegis and they just run into them. Gabby runs into a bit of a tough spot. The Ice Shard's blocking him in, so he'll lose his first life here. Can they go for the second kill here? DJ finds a snowball target, but doesn't hit Gabby as he comes out of the reincarnation. They are going to blink forward here. He goes for the BKB TP out. I don't think he timed it. Oh, they didn't have a stun. The Walrus Punch was just a little bit too far away. The BKB actually wore off, but luckily there was no disables left.
Yeah, they didn't have any. They don't have any like Yuleses in this game. It's all very aggressive items. Shiva's and Sanj and Kai's or whatever. They're just running in.
Tank up, do damage. Who cares?
Exactly.
Stuns? Well, Quop going for a refresher next. At least that's what's queued up. So double BKB, double Sonic Wave in these fights. Double Shiva. She can just like blink in and do some insane damage and have pretty good survivability.
Yeah, between
does...
Kaya-san, Shivas, and BKB, she shouldn't die, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kunkka's got the AC, but it does feel like T1 can't really kill these heroes through BKB. Like, their Wraith King and Kunkka they haven't gone all in on physical damage. Like, it does feel like this Quap with 3k health will survive with the Shiva's bonus armor.
Yeah, and Carl's gone for, like, no damage as well. He bought this AC, so he's more tanky. He bought BKB, he's more tanky. Silver Edge, like, Silver Edge Armlet kind of spec him into this, like, damage Kunkka, the core, like, good core Kunkka, the kind of the general build that most people buy. But now he's going Ags and Refresher, and he's just being super utility. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him queue up a Hex or something after finishing Refresher.
Yeah. He's very pesky because of he's got level 25, so the Ghost Ship fleet with the Torrent Storm. There's a lot of control coming out from this Kunkka if you're not getting BKB off.
I think it's weird though. Like, if you look at his talents, he didn't go any of the Torrent talents. At level 20, he went the Cleave. At level 15, he went the Strength. I don't think the Strength or anything is bad, but when you're going this Axe build and stuff, it's kind of odd that you're not getting the 20 talent at least.
Yeah. Well, little pick off on DJ's Tusk there. Not the biggest of kills, but he is dead for a little while. You know, it's the intentional feed because it was his dieback, so he wants to get the long cooldown out of the way now. Very, very tactical from DJ. I know you guys in Twitch chat are lolling, but it's actually some 5-head moves from him.
He's so smart. Yeah. I do that all the time.
Yeah. It's like, I just pulled back. I need to go die again because otherwise, you know, I'm going to have this really long respawn time at a really bad time, so. But his team might need him soon because T1 is smoking up, so. No, we're fine. We're fine.
Armel could be in danger.
Yeah. Oh, BKB has no blink for a couple of seconds. Throws out the Sonic Wave just to push him away. Another blink out. Can they catch up to him? They've got no blink on Cuckoo for a little bit. The Kisses is there. Armel refreshes his blink. And BKB. Whew. He's out of there, but he had to use a refresher to do it.
I think Gabby could have got his stun off there. I don't know if he lost vision or something or just didn't feel like he was close enough. I don't know. Does he have the spell block? Maybe he had spell block up. I'm not sure.
Not sure. Yeah.
Oh well. Either way, he gets away. Refresher expended, and his BKB. That is like a timing. This is the sort of thing that is so hard in late game Dota, is judging the strength of everyone and what you can do. Because if I'm in a pub, I'm like, oh, Quap use Refresher. Quap has no BKB. Go fight again. You know, no BKB. They have their spells up. They're missing Kisses. That's about it.
The thing is, with Spell Prism, BKB's already back up. Like, it's actually got very short cooldown. I mean, 1 minute cooldown. It's relatively short. The Refresher, though, a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Here come Fnatic. T1 have that ward, though. They're playing around. They instantly get vision, though. Cuckoo gets jumped. Does get saved by the Astral, though. That'll keep him alive for now. The Sonic Wave catches him as he pops out. He gets the Spear Arena off before he goes down. He's not even dying. He's tanking his way through this one. He's going to refresh now as well. He's going to throw out the second Arena onto this Medusa, but the backlines have been gone on. They've lost the OD, so no more saves for Cuckoo, who will get finished off. Armel gets the double kill, making sure he gets the support OD, and then they deal with Cuckoo later. And that's right as Roche respawns. So Roche number 3, Ags, Blessing, Cheese, and Aegis.
Oh, those punches from DJ, so nice, so nice. I was like punching the air for Cuckoo. I was like, what a nice refresher. He like steps out of the arena so Raven can't kill him, and then just TPs away with his BKB. But nah, Tusk here punches him. Gets that kill really good.
Profit.
The Ag slaps. I never see DP's bite anymore, but I always felt like he was so good.
Oh, even more damage going to be flying out of this DP. Fnatic could be feeling pretty good about where this game is at for them now. With another Aegis in hand, they may look to make another move towards the T1 base. They send Raven pushing forward. He's got that Swift Blink now as well, playing bootsless. Just feeling like, well, you know, he needs the item slot more. Bottom lane, though, Armel. Oh, boy. That was a gem as well. A similar scenario to what happened before when he got caught in the jungle, but this time they actually finish him off.
Ow. He didn't get his quick fingers on the BKB that time. But that was really good heads up from T1. They just lose the Roche and they're like, okay, well, we have to get out on this map and make pressure somehow. 3 of them instantly run bot. Either you're getting a pick off like that onto Armo, which is really great, best case scenario, or you're shoving in the lane really hard, pressuring tier 2, taking that tower, forcing someone to kind of react to it. Because Fnatic, obviously, they want to take advantage of the fact they just got Roche. They want to go walk down a lane. They want to go do something aggressive. They want to be on your side of the map. Like, the natural flow from Roche is to, like, kind of go into the enemy's jungle or whatever and push in top and push in mid. So, yeah, great move from T1 to just swing bot and make something happen there.
Well, not willing to buy back. Suddenly it's Fnatic who may have an Aegis cheese, but they are avoiding fighting. At least for now. Raven's going to have to TP back to just defend this mid and bottom lane push. So T1 find themselves, you know, in a decent position considering their enemies got an Aegis out of this one. And we're very much in what feels like a pretty dead even game right now. 45 minutes in. Gold is even. The game itself just feels even though Fnatic have this Aegis Medusa who, you know, is still feeling like the scarier late game carry, but T1, you know, have shown they may have answers for a Medusa late game. If they can control her, but bait out the BKB, you know, they have all this Kunkka control as well as the Mars with double arena that can, you know, keep this Medusa pinned down.
Yeah, I wonder if they can just get the Astrals off on her. Whitemon's playing pretty defensively with Astrals, which is nice, but any fight where they can just double Astral her spells so good for T1. They definitely have the damage and control at this point to kill his teammates. Like, I think for both teams, Tusk is priority #1 for T1 if they can, and Fnatic want to kill this OD. Both these heroes are just the save that can turn a fight.
Do you love me?
Tusk even now playing around with an Ag Scepter, something I feel like I've seen this DJ Ags Tusk several times in the past, and it's always fun to watch with how he uses it, gets enemy heroes out of position with the repositioning. So another thing that T1 are going to have to be a little bit wary of.
Tusk Ags is, in my opinion, so good, but the hero has absolutely zero farming tools, which makes it so hard to get to, especially since you want to go blink and stuff.
Yeah,
but
bring back the old Tusk GPM talents, you know? I miss GPM talents.
I was organizing my hero pick screens the other day, because I had a bunch of them, and I was just like, are these even useful anymore? And I opened one, and it had in the corner, it was like, it was my support page, and it was like GPM talents. It was just like a big block of heroes that used to have GPM talents.
If you're going to play support in pubs, you know, you want to have that GPM talent.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I see what type of support I was, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love playing CM for that very reason. You know, you do your job giving everyone an aura, and then you hit, I think it was level 20, and you're like, sweet, I'm rolling in money now. Yeah,
what else are you playing for? I want to be rewarded for my hard work helping the team.
Yep. All right, well, this pause is going to end here as Fnatic, with an Aegis in hand, but on the back foot for now. They're waiting for this Queen of Pain to respawn. Armel, a bit of a wake-up call for him there. He's going to be a little bit careful and still respect T1's, you know, pick-off potential. As both teams, like, all these cores are getting essentially 6-slotted at this point. And all the supports are getting all their luxury items. We are well and truly in late-game Dota here.
Yep, I think T1's doing all the right things. They put a really nice... Well, they have a really nice ward on that cliff. They didn't place it after the Roche. I think it was there beforehand, but they're playing around it. So they feel pretty safe here. Unless smoke happens, they should be fine to just keep pushing in bot. I think Kuku's just like being a little bit cheeky top and trying to shove out the wave. If they can just keep cutting waves, shoving waves, like look at Carl, he's using a silver edge mid and he's gonna try and cut a wave there, like. Oh, he messed it up. No.
Don't look at Carl. Observer, look away. Look away.
No.
All right, he's got this one. Surely he won't mess it up again. Okay.
Yeah.
Phew.
Like now Fnatic's only play is we're going to just push in top. Like your mid is cut, bot is pushing in. Like T1 are doing the best they can to try and distract them. Like, yo, come on. Don't push our base. Do something like, look at all this pressure on the map.
Kick back, DJ. He's pushed Kuku in, forces out an arena, but DJ, that's not how he saw that one going. He thought he was setting up, but instead he's setting up on himself. The banish is there offensively onto the Medusa just to buy some time. The spear follows it up. Medusa just being kited around. I don't think they actually want to commit onto Raven at this point. But with Tusk dead, they're probably more than happy to take a fight. Fnatic know they've got to be careful about TPing out because they may get picked off on the retreat. So they're going to make sure they do so in a safe position. And looks like that's the end of that
instantly.
push. Yep.
Armel showed
Reclaim
on
their
their
jungle.
base.
Raven may get caught out if he's not careful, but Jabs is nearby. Raven goes in with a Silver Edge, doing what he can. He still wants to play around this age. It still has a minute left on it, so with Jabs running in with the Exorcism on the backlines here, Jabs has done a good job finding the supports, but with Wraith King Gabby showing up, Jabs may just have to turn and run. He's in trouble with this BKB wearing off in a second here. Jabs, he gets instantly speared. He gets speared out with the torrent hitting him, though. Gets healed back up a little bit by the Ascetic Trap, but he still ends up going down. The fleet flying on through as well. Armel doing some good damage with the Sonic Wave. They've killed the Wraith King once, but I don't think they can do so twice. As Fnatic are dropping, losing their supports as well as Jabs, and Armel needs to blink out. He's still got a BKB, but he's being chain stunned up. The torrent is there, and T1 have demolished this team fight.
Dude, I'm grinning. I'm just grinning. Did you watch Medusa in that fight? It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. He doesn't
Just being kited.
He doesn't have boots. So when Carl used his boat on him, it hit him, and then the next boat also hit him because he's not fast enough to get out of the radius of it. So he's just getting boated and boated. Then he like slithers over slowly into the fight, uses ult. Everyone just like looks away from him and doesn't care, keeps fighting. Like poor Raven actually.
Not just boots, but the BKB was in the backpack too. So Raven still has a 9-second BKB, but yeah, the kiting is very real.
They just completely ignored him.
Yeah. I guess the good news is I think he's got the Ag's Blessing now, so can buy out a Rapier. If Raven wants to forego having buyback, Rapier is a consideration. They get Carl into the base here, using those kicks. Carl is in too deep. And that's why they have this Tusk. The Tusk with the Warrior's Kick, the Ag Scepter, is so good when you're defending high ground. It's perhaps not as good when you're pushing the enemy high ground, but when you're on the back foot, it's so nice when you can push the enemy out of position into your base.
Love it. Positioning spells are so good. It's like nothing feels worse than getting like punch hooked when you're trying to push high ground. You're just under the tier 4s, just kick to the exact same thing.
It just kicks so far. The 1400 distance is pretty nutty.
Yeah. It's like there's nothing you can do. I mean, doesn't it pierce BKB? Yeah, so like it doesn't matter what you do, you're just getting kicked out of a fight as a carry, getting kicked into a base, like ow.
And then even if you BKB, there's this like Scotty Medusa who's slowing you. And speaking of Medusa, buys out the Rapier. So has Rapier, doesn't have buyback here, but Raven doesn't seem to care. He's not died, well, let's say in a long time, he's not died the entire game. 2-0-6, Raven looking to dish out a chunk of damage now with a Rapier.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't died, but he's not killing that much either when they just ignore him like that last fight. It's sad life for Medusa. The Swift Blink at least helps a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright. They're looking to just push top again. T1 doing what they've been doing all game. They shove in bot.
They're willing to go high ground, put Raven's life on the line with that Rapier, with no buyback. He'll have it buyback soon, just 500 gold short. So once he kills these racks, he may have it. And they're just giving up these racks. Without Kunkka alive, they don't want to use that buyback. They will take the melee racks. They do have to address the bottom lane being pushed in by skeletons, but it seems like Fnatic are going to be happy to just kind of fall back and accept just the one melee racks, which at this stage of the game, getting one racks is pretty insignificant.
Yeah, you're fine with it. And Wraithing gets such a nice cleave talent now at 20. He actually just has no issues clearing waves.
Wraith King himself, of course, with the Rapier now as well. And all these cores, they're actually approaching like these level 30s, like Quop 28, Wraith King 28, almost 29. So we're going to be seeing these heroes with double level 25 talents soon. And also, potentially 60-minute items. I don't know if we want to jinx that one, but we're approaching that 60-minute mark, Sheepo. We could get there.
Wow. 60-minute items. I love the Giant's Ring thing. On Wraith Kings and stuff. Seeing them walking around is like the most baller looking. Oh, Skeleton King at his peak.
Any other crazy ones that stand out this game if they can get?
I could see the Fall in the Sky being really good. God, they're all good. I mean, they're tier 5 items.
Yeah. Luckily, there's no more Ballista for Medusa. That's gone.
That's true.
But like an Apex or something. Mirror Shield. Oh my god, that item is actually pretty nutty too.
Yeah, I feel like Pirate Hat is like so amazing for like Fnatic because Jakiro and Tusk with items is so horrible.
We'll see if we get there first. Fnatic is smoking up, looking to make their next move. Roshan respawning in 15 seconds. Both teams going to be constantly checking that one, knowing that it can respawn at any time. Jabs will do what he can to push out this mid lane, and both teams going to have to play around that Rosh, which is respawning in just a second. So
Yeah, I really want to see Jakiro with items this game. I feel like Jakiro, like, because we've been seeing loads more offlane Jakiro, right? Oh, there we fight.
yes, yeah.
And they go like the Wishblades and stuff, but something I think is amazing is the Ags. The Macro Pyre lasting for an extra 20 seconds and piercing BKB, like it is a lot of damage, and it becomes pure. So it absolutely destroys. If you're a support and you stand in that for like even a few seconds, ouch.
Raven on the front lines, doing what he can. Wraith King getting helped out. Actually blinks onto the high ground. Okay, there's a 4-star. I was about to say, that could have been disaster for him. Kunkka pulling Raven in, using that tidal wave. He is the true water bender at this point.
Death actually doesn't matter.
A mistake there. Jams uses BKB.
Okay. 60 seconds without it. The Fnatic seem unfazed as they go into the Roshan pit. Meanwhile, Armel's Quap, he's been stunned up. He gets chain stunned and bursts it down. Does have buyback. Meanwhile, Fnatic looking to finish off Roshan. They commit exorcism, everything. They're going to buy back the Queen of Pain. Nice kick into Carl, into the pit, but there's the detection. They don't see him. He's invised up. They need some detection. The dust on the Jakiro is not in range, and jumping in is Gabby. They pull back everyone. Gabby's just melting to the exorcism, but he's trying to heal his way through this one, but he doesn't bring down the Death Prophet in time. Jab's kept alive with Ice Path 2. They're controlling up the Wraith King here. Punch him into the air. The Sonic Wave as well, getting him nice and low. Can they finish him off with the Medusa with the Rapier? They kill him a second time. Can they get him a third? Gabby, he's back alive once more. He's charging forward. He's managed to hold on to his Rapier. He's trying to get himself out of this one, but he's being controlled, and he's going to drop a Rapier. Raven now with double Rapier on the Medusa. They do have buybacks on the T1 side. So despite Aegis being taken by Fnatic, they haven't quite cinched the deal just yet. But what a play from the Wraith King to go charging in and lose his Rapier. That is not what T1 wanted.
That's a little bit too far. I feel so bad for Carl. He went into the pit to get the Aegis, but he dropped his BKB, but then he got stone formed from Raven's ult, and he couldn't pick it up. That's why he didn't get it. It just looked like he was standing there AFK, but he was just stone formed.
Well, they may just get mega creeps off of this. Wraith King not buying back just yet. Willing to maybe cross his fingers that they don't force the throne here, but he will have to buy back to maybe stop the mega creeps from being claimed. They spear Raven in, but he's still got Aegis in hand. Are they going to look to commit onto this Medusa? Queen of Pain comes in looking to save the day. There's the first death on the Medusa. She's got the Aegis, so they're going to try and kill her a second time. DJ kicks the Mars away, stopping the arena from coming into play, but Medusa still inside the arena is fully healthy, though, so they just don't have the damage to deal with Raven, and looks like Fnatic may just decide to disengage and not force his push just now. The double Rapier is nice and all, but unfortunately, that means Medusa has to forgo some of these defensive items. Yeah, I was about to say, Manta and Scotty both in the backpack. He wants the double BKB, so he's holding onto the refresher for now. And they're going to look to go for these mega creeps. Ooh.
Oh, no.
No refresher for 18 seconds. They go for the spear, but Raven just BKBs. Plays it safe. BKB plus Stone Gaze has a refresher, which he may have to use here as well if they chase. Ice Path. Oh, no, sorry. Jewel Breath for now, and Januel on the front lines just making sure they retreat. And with the Mega Creeps claimed, Fnatic happy to play it cool. They TP themselves back to their side of the map, TP back to Fountain, feeling like this game is in their control.
Oh no. Nice heads up by Medusa. He's like, okay, you pinned me to Rax a few times this game now. I'm just gonna BKB preemptively. That's really all Cuckoo can try and do. I thought it was funny when DJ kicked him out of the base, and then Medusa's on her respawn, like, well, not respawn, sorry. She blinks into where Cuckoo was, and that's when he got his arena off in that last fight. I thought it was going to go so much worse, but T1 unfortunately didn't have any spells or items to be able to follow up on it, so it ended up not doing anything.
Fnatic looking to make another play here. Raven actually sold his Manta. He's like, I've just got too many items. I'm going to sell this Manta. Now he has buyback, so I imagine that was somewhat calculated from him to get the buyback money for a potential, you know, he may die and lose his rapiers, but he's got items to slot in to replace them, even if he won't be quite as scary without. Not to mention the potential to pick them right back up.
I think if Gabby can get one of the rapiers and Medusa has none, I think she's just much weaker. As long as she has none. If she gets one back, it's all good.
And perhaps
It's
importantly,
also
Armel,
sort of
I was going to say, Armel almost has an Aeon Disc. An Aeon Disc, I mean, he's been getting jumped on and they attempt to burst him a few times, so this Aeon Disc could really help out his game.
Yeah, he has the spell block, but it doesn't really help against the Mars Spear, of course. Since it's not targeted.
Yep.
Man, I hate Aeon Disc. I'm glad they nerfed the cooldown now, so it's like goes up to 165-second cooldown after like 5 uses or 4 uses, sorry.
Yeah. Doesn't feel quite as abusable. In the mid lane. Sending in some Mars illusions, but Fnatic just playing it slow, playing it safe, playing around some of their vision. There's another T1 ward, though, on the other cliff above the Roshan pit, which they haven't taken out just yet, but does feel like they may even be considering just waiting out Roshan. They've got quite a ways to wait, at least 3 minutes, but they show no signs of trying to push and take the enemy base right now.
It's so sad being in T1's position. You have to spend this time just talking about how you're going to do things. Like, do you want to take your fights outside the base? If you take them inside the base, how do you take them? Like, what can you do? Is there a situation where you can leave the base and make a play? You have pretty good lane shove on your heroes, like Kunkka and Wraith King can push the waves out, but then it's like, okay, well, Fnatic can be set up on any of these lanes and kill us. Ooh. And it's so hard to get wards out when you're in this position.
Yeah, they, I believe, still have a gem. Yeah, Jakiro still playing with this gem now, so making it so that getting a vision up for T1 is just so tricky. And they don't really have any other good ways to scout stuff out. No summons or anything to, you know, send out to give vision. So it's just Fnatic who are just controlling this cliff by the Roshan pit. And they've got a long time to still wait for this Roshan, but what they are waiting for as well, 60 minutes. We're getting there. It's surely there's not a game deciding fight in the next 30 seconds. It's happening.
So Fnatic are making this play because they know it's 60 minutes. They know if T1 want to get their neutral items in their triangle, so they're starting to deward it now. They're going to be able to play inside it. Maybe they can take a good fight.
And find yourselves with 60-minute items while denying your enemies. I like it.
Yeah.
But T1 have a ward on their cliff around their Ancients, so we'll see. 60-minute hits. And Fnatic instantly looking to jump these Ancients. They're waiting for someone to go farm them. It's Cuckoo who's there, but Armel blinking in. Has a BKB if needed, but he's just forcing some action here. Oh my god, Gabby just melted. The double Rapier Medusa shredded through him. Forces a BKB to dodge the Ice Path, and oh boy. That was some serious damage coming out as Ancients were cleared out here, but no neutral items being claimed just yet. Raven on the front lines actually preemptively jumps the gun with his BKB, perhaps.
If an enemy is within a certain proximity of you and you kill a camp, they can't drop neutral items, so no one gets any.
There's the first one, though. An Apex comes out for the Fnatic side. Seems like a potentially juicy Medusa item, but also then gets a Stygian Desolator, so we'll see which way she wants to go. It looks like she's going for the Apex.
You know, going for your own Ancients is a noob move. When you're in T1's position, I've seen previous teams in the past be in this position. They just, one of their players just like smokes or blinks or whatever to the enemy Ancients and takes it. Because they know that the enemy will take theirs.
Yeah. They're being blocked off. Kunkka finds a Seer Stone. I'm not sure where he even found those neutrals, but he'll take what he can get. So tier 5's coming out. Wait, what is this Seer Stone? It's being pinged. Did they steal a neutral item? Is that what happened? No. Oh no, OD got the Seer Stone. So both teams with a Seer Stone now.
Seer Stone is perfect for OD. What a nice I am. He's so happy.
Not bad for Jakiro.
Book of the Dead, that's sad. No one wants that.
Cuckoo up top. Ooh. Okay, he'll TP out just in time. So the stalemate continues. Roshan will respawn. Okay, so all this, a lot of action around these 6-minute items, and Fnatic say, we're not really fine. We're still just waiting for Roshan. I think this is Rosh number 4. So yeah, Ags and Refresher. This is where some of these supports, I mean, at this point, I think everyone's going to have an Ags. Jakiro is the only one on Fnatic who doesn't have one, so that's a happy Jakiro.
He's in the long play. He didn't want to buy himself because he knew at 62 minutes it was his.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we could even see someone else take the Ags. Be like, nah, I gotta eat this, man. I gotta free up the slot. Like, Tuska's like, yo, this is my Ags.
Daniel's blinking in before he's like, no. You guys stay away. I've worked hard to earn this one.
Next up, Zhao, get a refresher, my friend.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Double macro pyre with, pure damage at this point. Unfortunately, level 20 didn't get the macro pyre damage, although rightfully so, I think. Extra stun duration makes a bit more sense.
Just a little. Now they have to just figure out on Fnatic how they want to try and close this game out. I think everyone in this game has a buyback. So we could see the absolute craziest team fight of all time, potentially.
Yep. Also, another crazy item is this Ex Machina, which both teams have. So we're seeing like double, triple BKBs. Whoa! Cuckoo gets kicked way out of there into the Fnatic team. Do Fnatic have the damage to kill him off? You've got to imagine they do with Raven's Medusa, getting him low here. But being kicked almost too far away, they do finally bring him down. They had to work for it, though, and the enemy base is the Jab's Death Prophet. He's being banished up, and without a BKB, he's got cheese now to play around. Has a blink out in a second, eats the cheese. Jab's still alive. They couldn't finish him off, and now Cuckoo has to buy back just to try and defend the base. Raven going forward, looking for the tier 4 towers. Can they deal with this Medusa? I know. Make it stop. Make it stop. Here's another one. They're not done. Poor Carl getting kicked back in. The punches, the kicks. MMA style coming out from DJ's Tusk, and Raven just going charging forward with the Medusa. They've lost DJ, who will instantly buy back in the enemy base with the second Exorcism now. They've also got a third one if need be with a Refresher Shard. Do they look to try and force this one? Medusa is in deep under the tier 4 towers, getting speared into the throne here. Has the Aegis, won't have a second way of getting through this one. Jabs is getting low on the Death Prophet as well, still alive, gets chipped away, gets killed off in the end as Armel making his mark known on this game. He charges in, gets a great Sonic Wave off. He's zoning them back into the fountain, allowing them to maybe focus some of these buildings here, but Medusa wants to play it safe, is backed off as they finish off Gabby's Wraith King. Force out a buyback from him. Cuckoo's looking for another play in the front lines. Can't spear anybody in. Doesn't have an arena for 7 seconds as well as Armel, perhaps a little bit out of juice, has taken out the Snapfire here. Just the one hero day. Great Ice Path. Catches out 2, though. As they go in, jump the backlines here. They want this OD, want to stop these Astral Saves. Kunkka catches the Torrent as well as the Torrent Storm. Armel getting brought low, but the Aeotis will bail him out for now. Another boat comes flying through, but that's going to be off the mark as the arena does finally come back up, but none of the Fnatic heroes get caught inside of it. Instead, it's Cuckoo who gets kicked out once again. This DJ Tusk is just constantly moving them out of position, and while all that's going on, they bring down the throne. Too much damage from the Medusa as well as the Exorcism, and a what is late game Dota is just wild.
Oh my god, what a fight. It's so sad watching them fight because they're trying their hardest. So like, we're going to try and keep you off of our ancient, but it's just getting chipped down. Like the creeps, this like any Medusa hit with like double Rapiers is doing so much health. You can't stop it all from happening. Like that's the weakness of Megas. You might be big enough to be able to push out the waves, but when a big team fight happens, it's extended for that long, you just can't defend it all. You just can't stop everything.
Well, not only do we get some 6-minute dimes, we also get a game 3 now. Fnatic, they're going to take us the distance. I think this is the series. These are two of the teams that, at least coming into today, look the most evenly matched. Sheepo, and do you feel like going in that game 3, you give either team an edge at all, or?
Nah, I mean, even in game 1, right, we thought they had such a good start and edge, and they were getting all these pickoffs, but then it's like the game was still even in terms of economy. They're still farming. They're all keeping it even. They're both making plays against each other. The execution's not always there necessarily, but like they are keeping up with each other 100%. Both games have been very close. It could go either way.
Well, that does speak well for a game 3 that could go either way, and, you know, at least looks like it should be a bit of a nail-biter. So, guys, we're going to get ready for that game number 3. We're going to take a quick break and come back in and have Nat join us as we get ourselves ready for the last game of today, day 1 of the SA Regional Finals. We'll see you there.